Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for December 22nd, 2025. We've got base and plunder today. And inspiring cage? That's kind of weird. Seems like hard to take advantage, a thing that's hard to take advantage of. Anyway, maroon and cage are the thinning here. Cage, of course, not really trashing and doesn't permanently thin, but plus actions, Harbor Village, draw, Mapmaker, Council Room, Maroon potentially, but there's also Frigate, so the draw could be pretty limited. Council Room is patient, so that can also actually be effectively non-terminal, albeit you can only play it every other turn that way. And then gains, market is plus buy, Council Room is plus buy. King's Cash not looking super impactful here with no Kingdom Treasures. It may be, depending on... I have seen the bot skip Frigate fairly recently, I want to say, on a Kingdom where it seemed like it would be relevant. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. But assuming it does play with Frigate, it may be that what you want to do here is build a deck where you're mostly just playing like harbor villages, markets, and vassals, plus your frigates. Because you can generate a good amount of money that way, and buys. So Cage doesn't play super well into that because it seems unlikely that you can, mega turn or anything, and when you pop the Cage, then you're going to have all this junk. So I think I would rather just trash with Maroon. Well, although I will admit that one early Cage, like just looking at the opening options, one early Cage does look good in the short term. The alternative would be to go Maroon and like Vassal probably, which obviously has some risk to it. I mean, I guess it's not that bad. We miss. The worst part is more just like the slower initial thinning. Maybe it's fine. Maybe we do just take the Cage. Well, this isn't great. I guess I'll take that Vassal. Oh, actually... No, we're only getting one estate. Yeah, it's not great. Not great. Sure be nice, yes, if that happened. So we do need a village. We just go ahead and get that now. Probably. Okay. Do we go ahead and invest in Frigate already? The bot did just buy a council room, so I think so. We're gonna have to go a couple turns without playing the Vassal or the Maroon, but that's fine. Here, I mean, there's no reason we need to play Vassal, right? That should be a copper, so we should still be hitting 5. Or 6, I forgot about the Harbor Village. Alright, we do need another village. We would also like a market. What's more important? I think I'm actually going to go with the market and just not play Maroon for a turn. And then get another harbor village, and harbor village targets include frigate, market, and vassal. So double harbor village actually looks pretty good. And we're going to need the villages anyway. Okay, are we happy with 9 or do we want 10? I think we're happy with 9. Harbor Village Market. Not that we urgently need to trash this copper. It does occur to me that the vassal maroon interaction is a thing we're going to have to watch out for. Hmm. Well, not planning on necessarily loading up on vassals anyway. Yeah, see, the bot, I guess, does not intend to play with frigate, which I find strange. Okay. Okay, admittedly, vassal would fit reasonably well here. Hmm. I mean, so also, since the bot isn't playing with frigate, we could get like a gold and then plan to get a king's cash or something. Plan to play with some draw. Whereas it has a cabin boy, like it could, you know, pop the cabin boy, or it could just buy frigate, right? Hmm. Also just go Harbor Village Market. It is getting it. That does get us to 13. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like overcomplicate things. Two council rooms. Oh, sets aside 2 council rooms. Okay, never mind. I thought it said buys 2 council rooms. Um, is hmm. We don't right now super need more harbor villages. We could take that other vassal and just risk that at some point we end up marooning a card we don't want to maroon. Cabin Boy does not proc Harbor Village, so that's less appealing in some respects. Because if it gave you, which it doesn't until the next turn. Just take the vassal. It's fine. So much discarding. Why don't you play with Frigate Bot? I mean, I don't know. Oh. I guess yeah, I don't actually want to play that. Weirdly enough. I should just do it this way instead. I was thinking like, oh, I have the vassal and I have the maroon, so you know, but the more important thing right now is to make sure that all of my harbor villages are followed by money generating things. All right, let's take the last one of these. Couple more of these. Now we're getting to the point where that's going to be less of an issue. We've got some excess. We already had one excess. Now we're going to have a few excess. I think, given that the bot still has not picked up Frigate, I think we're going to want to invest in some draw here. Like, as we transition into the greening phase. I mean, possibly. Possibly we don't have much of a greening phase and we just aim to win on piles, but... Oh, right, vassals you may play it. We don't have to worry about hitting. I don't know why I was thinking. I guess Herald Maroon would be the situation where... I think this is fine. Yep, it's fine. Okay. We're not quite at the point where we can win. We're getting there. I think I like taking the last two markets. Could take a province. The bot has no ability to inflict Frigate on us coming into the next turn. The reason to take a province is that it makes it easier to pile on vassals. Although, right now estates are cheaper, but they do cost a lot of buys. We do now have the buys for estates. But we could... I think we take the province. And then the question is, do we want to take another vassal or take a map maker? Either one of these pileouts should be doable, so I don't think that part... I don't think we need to like lower the vassals, so probably the map maker is better. Yeah, I wanted to say that there was a game where the bot should have gotten Frigate and didn't, but I couldn't remember any details about it other than that maybe that had happened. But now watching this, I'm like, it must have happened because Uh, do we want the maroon just for cycling? I don't think we need that. Oh wow, the bot double provinced. I guess I got to King's Cash its gold. Okay. Well, estate pileout is still on the table, so I don't know that that matters too much. Ping pong, ping pong. Yeah. Oh. Fine. Whatever. Yeah, so in conclusion, get frigate. I mean, I think I don't know. I'm not sure how the game would have progressed if the bot had gotten frigate. Um like I could see the argument for getting some council rooms for like basically setting up your deck. If you have like two of them, you just know that your starting hand is going to be good. But like I was never really at risk of my starting hand not being good, so that still might be unnecessary. And the fact that you draw your opponent a card does matter, even if they are going to be under frigate attack. But yeah, I think I do in the end, like I'm not in general like a huge fan of Cage, but I do think here that it played nicely. Like it was one of those boards where it wasn't particularly important to Cage estates over coppers, even though I was, I obviously would have preferred to, and it was a little sad not to get more estates, but it was, yeah, it worked out fine to do it, the way that the way that it played out for me, like because it wasn't really essential to hit 5 quickly. Yeah, and so I think even if the bot had gone for frigate, I would have had a significant advantage just based on that, like on having gotten deck control like much more quickly. The bot did eventually thin down, to only 3 starting cards, but it spent pretty much the whole game doing that, whereas I was there within, I don't know, pretty quickly. So yeah, and then I think the sort of the virtual coin deck works really nicely here as a frigate counter, and so even if your opponent isn't playing with frigate, well, it still works, obviously, just a little bit better, if anything. Maybe not in a relative sense, but like you don't have to discard down to 4 the first time you play a thing. So although even if you did like Vassal, that would just give Vassal an extra target, so it wouldn't be a big deal anyway. But yeah, well, in any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.